Nobody in the stadium understood what they were witnessing in that first silent second, the moment when the lights dimmed just slightly, as if the universe itself was holding its breath. It wasn't a final. It wasn't a championship decider. And yet, the tension felt heavier, deeper, almost historic. Japan vs. Korea, a rivalry that has cracked stadium walls, broken expectations, and created legends. Tonight, it was only a strengthening game, but everyone could feel something extraordinary rising in the air. The crackle of anticipation spread through the stands long before the first pitch. Fans whispered to each other as if sharing a secret prophecy. Could this be the night when a new hero steps forward? When an unexpected star emerges from the shadows? When a young pitcher, barely known to casual viewers, stands tall like a warrior on a battlefield? Nobody knew, and that mystery made every heartbeat louder. As the camera swept across the dugout, there was a calm intensity etched onto every Japanese face. No bravado, no cockiness, just quiet determination. They knew Korea wasn't here to play friendly baseball, they were here to challenge pride, reputation, honor. This wasn't merely practice. This was a test of spirit. Then came the moment, the opening pitch by Ryohei Soya. Smooth, sharp, almost unnaturally calm. It cut through the air like a blade. A perfect strike. The crowd erupted, not in wild cheers, but in a stunned wave of awe. Something about that pitch was different. Like a warning shot. Like the announcement of a young ace who didn't fear the weight of the jersey he wore. Korea stepped up again, trying to read him, trying to predict him. But Soya was unreadable. His eyes locked onto the glove with the same cold clarity as a sniper. One pitch. 2, 3. Another strikeout. This wasn't dominance. This was perfection. By the end of the first inning, whispers turned into stares. By the second, stares turned into disbelief. And by the third, the stadium was trembling. 3 innings. 9 batters. 0 base runners. Not a crack. Not a flaw. A perfect performance, crafted quietly, almost humbly, but with the weight of a rising legend behind it. But even perfection on the mound cannot win a game without fire at the plate. And fire came in the form of a young hitter who refused to be ignored, Mio Nishikawa. His stance alone told a story. A story of self-belief, of hunger, of a player who wanted to prove he belonged in the narrative of this rivalry. When Japan fell behind early, it felt like a punch to the gut. Just a single run, but enough to darken the mood. Enough to make fans shift uncomfortably in their seats. Enough to make Korean supporters roar with energy. A game like this doesn't forgive hesitation. Then Nishikawa stepped in. The pitch came screaming in, a low breaker that dipped at the last moment. A pitch meant to bait. To embarrass. To end hope. But Nishikawa didn't chase it. He crushed it. The sound echoed like a burst of thunder across the stadium. A line drive slicing through the air, refusing to fall until it splashed into the outfield grass. The scoreboard blinked. The crowd exploded. Japan was tied. And suddenly, the game transformed. Energy surged from every corner. This wasn't just a game anymore, this was a revival, a rising storm. Something dangerous. Something beautiful. But the true turning point was still hiding in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Enter Yuki Kishida. Calm. Steady. Yet carrying a spark within him that could ignite an entire stadium. The pitcher stared him down, but Kishida didn't blink. He didn't tighten up. He didn't overthink. He simply breathed, lifted the bat, and waited for the moment destiny chose for him. It came on a pitch that was meant to intimidate, a fastball meant to chase him backward. Instead, he stepped into it. Met it. Erupted into it. The ball soared into the night sky like a comet. A V-shaped blast carving through blackness, carrying the hopes of thousands with it. For one long second, time froze. Every voice in the stadium fell silent. Every eye followed its arc. Then it dropped. Deep, loud, undeniable. A go-ahead home run. The kind of hit that shifts an entire game, an entire mood, an entire rivalry. Kishida didn't shout. He didn't pound his chest. He simply rounded the bases with the quiet dignity of a man who knew exactly what he had just done. From that moment forward, Japan wasn't playing to win, they were playing to dominate. Every swing felt sharper. Every pitch landed like a statement. Every defensive play carried a roar of confidence. This was a team locked into one heartbeat, one rhythm, one unstoppable surge of momentum. Korea fought back, but the walls were closing in. Every attempt to rally dissolved under Japan's relentless pressure. The field belonged to the samurai tonight. Their focus became a shield. Their energy became a blade. And behind it all, the echoes of Soya's perfect 3 innings still hung in the air, reminding everyone that this game began with a masterpiece, and it would likely end with one too. As the final innings unfolded, Japan turned the game into a symphony: timely hits, daring base running, unbreakable defense. A performance crafted with precision and fueled by spirit. The lead stretched. The noise grew louder. Every fan knew the truth now: tonight wasn't ordinary. Tonight wasn't forgettable. Tonight was a statement. When the final out snapped into the glove, a wave of emotion crashed over the field. Players embraced. Fans roared. Even the air seemed to vibrate with pride. Japan hadn't just defeated Korea, they had risen above expectations, pressure, doubt, and delivered a performance that would be remembered long after the scoreboard went dark. Nishikawa's clutch hit would be replayed for days. Kishida's towering home run would be etched into rivalry history. And Soya's perfect 3 innings. That would spark conversations about the future of Japanese pitching for years to come. As the team walked off the field, there was no arrogance in their victory. Only determination. Only hunger. Only the quiet understanding that tonight was just the beginning of something bigger. A spark had been lit. A message had been sent. And every rival watching, from Korea to the rest of the baseball world, heard it loud and clear. Japan is not preparing for greatness. Japan is becoming it.